Hey, you guys, and welcome to American Culture. So, I had a very interesting thing happen, right? I am at the end of a chapter and I call myself waiting on God to kind of propel me into the new space. And, oh, okay. Let me try to explain this. It has been a whirlwind between me and the Lord because all other the outside influences are just gone. I don't really work like that. I don't have bills like that. I don't have anybody in my space that doesn't do God to the extreme to which I do. So, I don't have any other place to, I'm not being pulled by anything other than the Lord. With that being said, I was like, God, I'm tired of waiting here. Like, when am I going to propel and go into the new state of my life? I genuinely asked this question. And he says, well, you have to stop holding on to expectations or the things that you're expecting in the ether. For those of you who are like expecting money, expecting love, expecting this, he says, you're holding on to it up there. So it can't really manifest down here. What you've got to do is let go of the expecting things. Remain expectant. You are doing what God anticipates that you're going to do. That does come with an equal and opposite reaction. You're going to get that. But allow the details to come in the way that they want to. Again, keep your perspective broad, but your concentration really on your purpose and what God wants you to do. So that's step one. Those of you who are like holding on to, I need money to come, your reality is that you still need money to come. You've got to let go of that reality. You've got to let go of that focus, because once we observe that we need money, that becomes the reality that we're living. Once we observe that we still need, this kind of love, or we need a new car, then that's the reality that you're going to live in. So yeah, I get it, but let it go so that God can do what he does. That's step one. Letting go of expecting things, allowing yourself to see the bigger picture and pull from there a concentration. Step two, I woke up this morning because, like, again, I don't work like that, and I'm getting a little anxious here. I said, Jesus, what am I waiting on? And I'm tired of being in the waiting room of my life. And he says, that's on you, honey. I'm already here. It's time for you to recognize that you have to sit at the table. And I was like, oh, okay. You guys, although I read my Bible and I know that it talks a lot about tables, I was like, I don't really know what you mean by that. So he told me to go look at the book of Revelation, and I'm going to read it to you. Revelation chapter 3:20. Now, this is in the Jehovah's Witness Bible. Excuse me. I'm not a Jehovah's Witness. Somebody gave me this Bible. It's easier for me to read. So have it, whatever Bible you want, whatever. It says, look, I am standing at the door and knocking. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come into his house and take the evening meal with him, and he with me. And so God was like, what I'm doing by waiting is I'm looking at the door, anticipating that the next thing that I need to do is go through it. And he's like, no, you need to have a seat at the table in fellowship with me. And it says in the evening meal, not the breakfast meal, not lunch, this stuff that's supposed to be happening in the daylight. What he's saying by evening is evening often takes you from the lit day that you've experienced, i.e. your past, and is transitioning in you to the future, transitioning you into the night. And at night, as a light worker, what we do is that we rest and stuff like that. So God is saying, you've already done the stuff. You've opened the door. I'm here. Sit down and fellowship with me as you go through this transition into a new day. Take that opportunity. Sit at the table. Nourish yourself. There are a lot of us, like I said, we're being kind of called into just sitting there and perceivably doing nothing because we were so used to always having to go somewhere and always having to do something. But no, he's saying, I'm here to help you get nourishment before this resting period. And remember that although you're going to still be carrying all this frustration, the confusion, whatever else, from the day that you previously had, and you may weep essentially, which is to allow all of these things to come out now, because that's what this resting period is for us to allow the waste, allow the hurt, allow all that bitterness to come out of us completely. He said joy comes in the morning. So he wants us all to be aware that tomorrow morning, and if you claim this, you could have it, tomorrow morning, joy will be there. So tomorrow really is the first day of my life that I really 100% get to stop. every time I get on this video, Paul wants to go over there and chew on something or lick on something on his body, and I can hear it. I can't stand it. Stop trying to distract your mother. I have work to do. With that being said, a lot of us are going to wake up tomorrow and be 100% who we're meant to be. It is up to us to be aware of that, live off that joy, and then go from there. He's letting me know that things have to change up here first. The way that I'm seeing this, I have to stop blocking it out with all of my what I'm expecting and whatnot, and just be here in this moment, experiencing the joy. I've done it. I've answered the door. I've become the person God needed me to be. I see that. I recognize my dark phase as, he brought me into the light, and he took me to all those different homes and around all those different people so that I could be the light for them. It's not my issue that they could not recognize that. Oh yeah, yesterday, the transition that I made, and what brings all this to be was because I finally stopped me living off of empathy and sympathy, because those are relational things. You can relate to people through empathy, you can relate to people through sympathy, but you can't really build there. It's not really healing. In fact, both of them require that you stay there to support rather than heal. And God said I had transitioned over to being compassionate, which means when you transition over to being compassionate, you recognize that you are the light, that you have a purpose here, that there is some good that I bring. And I need to be able to bring that to this environment. And I'm not going to exhaust myself. I'm not going to exhaust myself. I'm not going to stress myself out trying to do that. I'm going to be like Jesus in the Lazarus situation. Yeah, I wouldn't be here if healing wasn't possible. And I'm finally at the point now to where I recognize that, and God's letting me know that he's going to prosper me through situations that also recognize that too. But I had to see the opposition first so that I didn't go into an opposing, situation and try to change. I'm not here to change minds. I'm here to perform miracles. You can do that yourself. That's a drastically different thing. I'm not here to change the mind of opposition. I'm here to do what I do. And if they get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't. But now I'm finally being able to go into situations where I can intentionally be who God called me to be. And that will be accepted. That will be appreciated. In fact, they've been waiting for me. How funny. I'm having that revelation right now. He said, that's the waiting that you feel, is all of this healing that the world needs to receive from you. And it's not just me. I'm not like, oh, I'm all powerful one here, this and that. He's talking to you too. Yeah, the world needs the healing that is going to take place because you acted in obedience. But it is up to you to recognize that that's what you're doing so that God can prosper you. So I say this to you guys right now. You're not waiting. You're not waiting. Stop looking at the door, as though there's a way out. The table is set. The food is ready. God is here. He's saying, take a moment to sit down, fellowship with me. Continue to nourish yourself with my word, my presence. Before, you take that rest in the darkness and wake up tomorrow experiencing the joy. That's what I'm doing. And I'm owning it. I'm owning it as if it is 100% true. You're watching me do that in real time. No, I am owning it as though that is 1000% truth, because it is the way that I heard it from the Lord. Because like I said, when he told me, I'm looking at the door, but he's like, the table is set. And I had to ask him, where's that at in the Bible? You're looking at the door, honey, but the table is set. Sit down and fellowship with the Lord. Have a blessed day, you guys.